What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. We are back with another Ghost review. Now, I know the last video was a Ghost pre-workout review, and today we're going to review the Ghost Aminos, okay? They have released Aminos for a while now, and it was basically BCAAs. Now they've come out with this EAA and BCAA complex. Does it work? Stay tuned. Find out. Total scoop size on this is at 10.8 grams. They do recommend 2 scoops a day, which makes it 21.6. There you go. For today's demo, I'm only gonna do 1 scoop, I'll be honest. We picked up the sour green apple warhead version. Pretty much the same scoop size as like the pre-workout, I would say. Drop that right into here. Now, what's very interesting about EAAs, it's kind of a new thing that I've kind of seen trending in the market these days, is essentially now research has shown, and a lot of people didn't realize, that BCAAs are great. I used to take BCAAs all the time, and to be honest with you, like, they taste good. Usually they like made me feel hydrated, and they were great as like an alcoholic chaser, I'll be completely honest. But did it work? Did I feel like BCAAs like helped with muscle recovery? Did it help with muscle growth? Did it help push the protein into my muscle tissue to help repair? I mean, I think that's all subjective. I think that's all very dependent on your genetics and how your body reacts to certain things, and obviously BCAAs. But here's an interesting thing. You need actually all 8 essential amino acids, which includes the 3 BCAAs that you see, to really get the most benefit of muscle recovery and muscle growth. So of course you could take BCAAs, but really you're missing half of what you actually need. Now, obviously you're getting some of the EAAs from food and other sources, but I think it's very important if you're supplementing, you're not eating enough, especially when you're dieting. Taking EAAs, BCAAs is really important. All right, so as always, let's give it a nice pour. It is the sour green apple, so as expected, it is a very interesting green color. As you can see, mixability, I said this in my last video, 100% on point, guys. These guys crush it when it comes to the mixability. I think, you know, there's no grains, there's no chalky flavor, anything like that. Bottoms up, cheers to you guys. It's basically like a Granny Smith apple, but a little bit more sour, a little bit more sweet. I think it tastes amazing. I don't really drink a lot of this, I'll be honest. Like, I don't drink a lot of EAAs and BCAAs anymore because I take HydroCharge throughout the entire day. But unfortunately, HydroCharge doesn't have those EAAs or BCAAs. It's pretty much just a hydration complex. And it basically just keeps me hydrated, makes me continue to drink water. This is actually beneficial to muscle growth, muscle recovery, helping ensure that I'm not breaking down a lot of muscle tissue when I'm working out fasted or when I'm dieting down into, you know, lower than 2,000 calories, etc., etc. So let's go through the label real quick with you guys. So really quickly, EAAs, 2.75 grams total, 2.25 grams of the BCAAs. And then it actually has some other things that I think are really interesting and I think really important. I think a lot of people kind of skip this one. I have not been skipping this one. I've been almost overdoing this one, but is their hydration complex here. Now, again, Ghost has no sort of proprietary blends. They tell you the full ingredient breakdown right on the back of the label. I think that's great. I will always be a huge supporter of any company that does that. I think it's very important as a consumer that we know exactly what we're putting into our bodies and what amounts. So very important, very cool. So it's got a little bit of some taurine. I've talked about that before. That's an amino acid, not an essential amino acid, but it is another amino acid typically found in meat. And when you combine it with caffeine, it can help with mental focus. Obviously, no caffeine in this, but I do think that it helps with hydration. All right, so moving on from taurine, we got this raw coconut powder. And I think that's one that is in my HydroCharge, 1. And 2, I think it's one of those things that, like, we all know that coconut water is like extremely beneficial for hydration. Like, if you ever have a hangover, everyone says go get either a Pedialyte 1 or 2 coconut water. All right, so then the other thing, part of the hydration complex, I would say, is this ALLUMINUM, which is basically calcium, magnesium, and then 72 other trace minerals that help with hydration within the body. So combining all 3 of those things, and you put it into this among your BCAAs and your EAAs, it's pretty much like the full package deal. You sip on this throughout the day, twice a day, whatever. You do 1 scoop in the morning or midday, and then 1 scoop later in the evening. I think you're well on your way to getting all the amino acids that you need every single day. Now, there is some estrogen in here to help with the absorption. The only other product that I've used personally that has estrogen is the BAMF pre-workout. So essentially what estrogen does is it basically helps with the absorption of all these ingredients within the body. Because typically what can happen with a lot of supplements, this is why it's a supplement, okay, is the body will just naturally flush it out. If you have too much citrulline, it's gonna flush the excess out. It's not like macros where your body's gonna save it as fat, as storage. It's basically just gonna flush it out, you're gonna pee it out. So, you know, getting that estrogen in here, I think that's really important. I think that plays a key role in this stuff, not just getting flushed out and you're basically just drinking a sweet sour green apple drink. All right, guys, so let's talk about the number one thing that I'm sure a lot of you are asking, price point, $39.99. This is their Aminos v.2. You can order it online. I've said this before about Ghost. There are plenty of 20% off coupons. Just Google search it, and I guarantee you will find something that will give you 20% off the $39.99 cost. Essentially, you're gonna get about $8 off, so it comes into around $32. And I don't think that's too expensive. I think it is a little bit on the higher end, but again, I justify that with a full disclosed label, and as well, the taste, the flavoring, everything right there is 100% on point. So if you have the money, sure, I will continue to buy that. I don't have the money to spend $40, unfortunately, or $32 if I have that discount code every month. I just don't, and it's not something that's important to me. So essentially, if you're looking for a good EAA, BCAA complex, maybe some hydration in there, this is the product I would recommend. Like I said, I have not tried a lot of these products. I've tried plenty of BCAAs on their own, but this is the full package. I think that's really important. You really need to remember that in order to get the full benefits of what we all hear about with BCAAs, and that's muscle recovery, helping muscle grow, preventing muscles from being broken down and used as energy, then you really have to get the EAAs and the BCAAs together. And whether you're taking both at the same time or one, whatever you're doing, I think it's important. So I would highly recommend this product. I think the taste is really good. Mixability is always on point. 100% go check it out. All right, guys, with that being said, if you guys have any questions, comments, whatever, leave a comment below. I will get back to you, I promise you, within the day. Like, I really want to interact with you guys, and I appreciate you guys watching. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button, hit the subscribe and bell for notification. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.